everyone, I'm Batman. I'm Nick Curtis, the art toy advocate, but proclaiming myself to be the Caped Crusader seemed appropriate given today's art piece for review. I Won't Be a Hero Tim #2 from Alan Ng's Fool's Paradise. Inside this massive box is an equally impressive PVC vinyl sculpture. Hidden underneath a protective foam layer with the limitation announcement, there are two gorgeously decorated block seats, each adorned with a wide variety of pop culture based stickers. And there are the various parts to put together a tattoo machine accessory. But who will be using said tattoo machine? As this alternate head sculpt and full figure show, it's a stylized depiction of Tim Burton. Yes, that Tim Burton, director of such films as Beetlejuice, Batman, and Edward Scissorhands. And of course, Tim the Tattooist needs a subject to put his ink upon. So finally, we have Lowfool, who sits at over 10.5 inches tall. We briefly touched upon in my previous review of Fool's Paradise's Sand K Troop at Coinride's Game #1 release that Ng began his brand with the Handmade 12 line, which had more realistic renditions of characters he would later stylize. The first three were Kiko, Zoo, and Kids, with the fourth, Lowfool, being introduced in late 2011. The biggest figure he'd created at that point, at an impressive 14-inch height, he quickly followed it up the following year with the Lowfool, an animalistic representation of the character as an anthropomorphic tiger. The character disappeared for years, only resurfacing last year for the first version of I Won't Be a Hero Tim, which depicted Lowfool cosplaying as the Dark Knight in his more recent black and gray attire, while this second version, as you can see, embraces the more traditional blue and gray costume. Both versions of which, due to Lowfool's massive musculature, remind me of Frank Miller's futuristic renditions of Gotham's Protector. This Lowfool is packed with little jests, especially those concerning the various Batman films and even some references to the comic books. For instance, on this arm, he has the bloody Superman logo that is well known from the cover of issue 75 of that series, the infamous Death of Superman culmination. This could, of course, be a reference to the ultimate battle between Batman and Supes in Miller's The Dark Knight Returns miniseries, or, equally, it could be inspired by the recent Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice film. We also have the bat symbol with the words "like black" in it, which speaks to the superhero's overall color aesthetic, and a traditional tattoo banner with the word Virgin written inside, probably hearkening to the common remark that while Bruce Wayne, as Batman's playboy alter ego, is often seen in the company of ladies, he doesn't ever seem to take them to bed. This theory can be easily disproven using both the films and comics, But this isn't a review of Batman's love life, so back to Lowfool's tats. Amid several more traditional tattoo designs, we have the closing voiceover remarks from Batman in the Christopher Nolan film The Dark Knight. Sometimes the truth isn't good enough. Sometimes people deserve more. Sometimes people deserve their faith rewarded. And while that's an obvious connection, let's not overlook the implications of the traditional designs next to it. A star being a shining light in the darkness, a peace symbol which immediately is associated with the 60s and the heyday of Adam West portraying the character on television, and a skull which seems more in tone with the 80s and the darker rebirth Batman experienced then. We next see I Won't Be a Hero and Lowfool, both of which are rather straightforward as the title of this piece and the character in the costume. Though it is noteworthy, I think, to mention that the piece's title brings forth the question of if Batman is a true hero or more of a vigilante, a common debate in the comics over the last 30 years. Why not serious is a reply to the Joker's query, why so serious, from the Dark Knight film. While I Love Kiko Cat depicts Batlow kissing Fool's Paradise's most popular character, Kiko, while she is in Catwoman's attire. After a couple more rather direct tats, like Dark Knight, an anatomical heart, the Batman mask, we find two lines written in Chinese. God of the Dark Knight and man proposes, God disposes. The latter of which may be related to Batman's long-standing stance that he will not kill criminals. Beyond these tattoos, even the fact that Lowfool has a mustache is a bit of a jest, making one recall the belief after Nolan's The Dark Knight Rises film that when Bruce Wayne had a mustache, he became apathetic, forsaking his superheroic ways. Heck, that concept led to the popular Call Me Maybe parody, Batman Baby. Now, while sitting next to the Lowfool character, the almost 7.5-inch tall Tim piece is kind of easy to dismiss, though it is every bit as pristine. And while it might not be loaded with lots of little jokes, the overall aesthetic of it and the alternate skull head definitely evoke two Tim Burton produced stop-motion animations, The Nightmare Before Christmas and The Corpse Bride. When put all together, this makes for a massive and truly impressive addition to any art toy collection. All the parts of the diorama making it a piece that you could inspect for lengthy periods. Everything is produced to perfection, with one slight imperfection. The underside of the cape has a ghastly seam in the vinyl. Thankfully, one would not inspect the underside all that often. Limited to only 298 pieces in this version, they were all sold out during the initial pre-order period. And when I asked Ing about a possible third variation, he replied that there are no plans for one as of right now. That said, Lowfool will be returning in the near future as a battle set of him pitted against himself. One in the Batman costume and the other in Superman's garb, locked in video game combat against one another. While a release date for this set hasn't been announced yet, You should follow the artist's Instagram account, foolsparadise_toys, and his website, doublefools.blogspot.com, to be alerted when this and other works by him become available. Thank you for watching me, Nick Curtis, the Art Toy Advocate. Agree with me? Disagree with me? Let me know your thoughts on Fool's Paradise's I Won't Be a Hero Tim #2 by commenting below, as well as liking or disliking this video on YouTube. And please remember to subscribe to the CoArt YouTube channel to be kept up to date on my reviews.